Day 2 of Green Bay Packers training camp is in the books. Yet another day of non-padded practice. Still waiting for the full pads to come on where we can really see the 1v1s and then, of course, the offensive line and defensive line go at it. But another day of practice. The Packers also have practice tomorrow. Then they're off a day on Saturday, then back at it Sunday and Monday. So we're going to go over everything that happened in today's practice in this video. Also, if you want to go watch all the highlights from today's practice, including some 11v11 clips, you can find that video I posted on my channel right before this one. It'd also mean the world to me if you went down and clicked that subscribe button if you haven't already. Takes 2 seconds to do, absolutely free to do, and it allows you to stay in the loop with everything Green Bay Packers throughout this training camp. There'll be highlights and takeaways from every single day of practice here on this channel. All right, so let's roll right into it and get this thing started. Before practice, Matt LaFleur had a press conference, and he was speaking on Quay Walker, who was activated off the PUP yesterday. We saw Walker placed on the PUP last week, and then yesterday, Gutekunst said it's only going to be like a 1-week injury, and just after that, right after yesterday's practice, last night, he was activated off the PUP, but he's just doing walkthroughs today, so not yet fully practicing, but it's a really good sign to see Quay Walker back, at practice going through walkthroughs. LaFleur also commented on the hiring of Nathaniel Hackett, which we saw in yesterday's practice, and he said he likes having an offensive coach work with the defense and vice versa, which is what Nathaniel Hackett is doing as a part-time analyst slash consultant, very similar to what they did last year with Robert Saleh. Finally, another thing that I found pretty important that Matt LaFleur said this morning is that he said he thinks Isaiah Simmons' ideal spot for this defense is at strong side linebacker. I find that very important because that is Isaiah McDuffie's spot. If the Packers open up in base, it's Cooper at weak side, Quay Walker at the mic, and Isaiah McDuffie at the strong. And I think a lot of us would agree that we could probably upgrade from Isaiah McDuffie. And if Isaiah Simmons can pull out some of that potential that we saw in his college career, man, the Packers have an absolutely insane dynamic group of linebackers if they somehow struck gold with Isaiah Simmons like they have in the past with someone like Devondre Campbell early on, even Keyshawn Nixon, Sewell Douglas, the list goes on and on and on. If the Packers found something in Isaiah Simmons, man, this linebacker room could be one of the best in the league. Quickly going over attendance, no changes from yesterday, so run through this real quick. Players that are not attending or not practicing, should I say, but are still there. Quay Walker with the ankle, like we just talked about. Christian Watson with the knee. Colin Oliver, hamstring is still out. Amar Johnson, hamstring is still out. And then the two offensive linemen we talked about yesterday, John Williams and Elton Jenkins with their back injuries, they are still out. Going over some lineup notes during walkthroughs before the start of practice today. Brenton Cox Jr. was lining up with the ones during walkthroughs. Now, LVN replaced him during the actual team sessions with the ones, but Brenton Cox definitely getting plenty of opportunity. Also, it was Simmons and Carl Brooks with the ones during walkthroughs. Those two players also getting plenty of opportunity, as I was just talking about Isaiah Simmons. Also, Savion Williams saw some reps with the ones during walkthroughs. So again, the Packers kind of just playing around with a bunch of different depth players, moving them in different situations with the ones. Don't read too much into a lot of this, like Malik Heath getting a lot of reps with the ones early on in practice, right? The Packers are going to try a multitude of different things. Even Travis Glover getting reps with the ones at left guard. Don't read too much into it. It's early on in training camp. But overall, the offensive line was the same as yesterday. Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks at left guard, Sean Ryan at center. Seems like that's the move they're going at backup center for now. Jordan Morgan at right guard and Zach Tom at right tackle. Now to go over all the main takeaways from today's practice. It was a defense-controlled practice for sure. The defense definitely won today's practice, and there was a lot of good reps from a multitude of different players on this defense. First and foremost, there was a really good rep from Javon Bullard in man-to-man coverage out of the nickel, covering up Tucker Kraft on a quick crosser route, underbreaking that route, getting a pass breakup. Maybe should have even intercepted it. Maybe Jordan Love could have put it out a little bit further, but overall, it was a great rep by Bullard. Something that he struggled with last year was man-to-man coverage on crosser routes. So good to see him getting good reps in training camp here out of that nickel position, something that I feel like he's definitely still going to play here in 2025, but I think the Packers are going to rotate him from nickel to safety quite often, also with Nate Hobbs potentially playing some nickel as well. And then Bo Melton, guys, I mean, it's crazy. This is an absolutely crazy story that Bo Melton, kind of tested the cornerback position, OTAs in minicamp, and then all of a sudden in training camp, he's making that official switch. He changed his number. He's a cornerback on the roster, on the website, and he's playing like a good cornerback. Like it's not an exaggeration here. During today's practice, he had some good reps in different situations. He was all over a read option running play by Malik Willis. He also had a very impressive pass breakup over the middle on Savion Williams. And he also had pretty good coverage on a big play that went to Matthew Golden. It was a broken play. Matthew Golden ran a return route, came back to the middle of the field. It was an extended play. Golden floated upfield behind Isaiah McDuffie for a big gain. But during that rep, Bo Melton covered a return route, a route that's hard to cover man-to-man, have you, and a player that just switched to cornerback. It's impressive to see. He's also getting reps with the ones here and there. You know, Bo Melton, I keep saying in every video because I fully believe it, like, this guy's going to make the roster as a cornerback. A rookie that continues to impress on the defense is Barron Sorrell. He had yet another would-be sack today. Now, of course, we want to wait until the pads come on to get our hopes too high on offensive, defensive linemen because it's hard to really assess there, but it seems like every day of practice through minicamp, OTAs, and now training camp, Barron Sorrell has a would-be sack, so really great to see that there. Valentine also had a interception on a tipped pass to start 2-minute drill for the second team offense and defense, thrown by Malik Willis. Then for the first team offense and defense to end the 2-minute drill on 4th down, Nate Hobbs had a very impressive pass breakup. It was a speed motion, Tay Wicks to a speed out, and Nate Hobbs just played it perfectly. Broke on that out route, diving pass breakup. Really nice to see that rep from Nate Hobbs, who's going to get plenty of outside boundary corner reps like Matt LaFleur said this morning, and he did a great job there. Like I said, just overall a great day for the defense in day 2 of Packers training camp. The first team defense, the second team defense, and the third team defense, all 3 of them won the 2-minute drill. Now, another note on the 2-minute drill, Travis Glover did replace Aaron Banks at left guard. It looked like Aaron Banks walked to the sideline, grimacing a little bit. Hopefully it's nothing serious and maybe they just took him out as a precaution, but I don't believe he returned, so definitely something to monitor moving forward. Don't need that. Don't need one of those early injuries like Aaron Banks on the offensive line, who they just signed to a mega deal. Although it was an overall win for the defense today, that doesn't mean the offense didn't get a few things going. We saw a couple runs go for some from Josh Jacobs, Marshawn Lloyd, but overall the run game was pretty shut down by the defense. But the Packers did get a few pass plays that went for big gains, including a really nice fake toss out of shotgun concept where Jordan Love fake tossed it to the right to Josh Jacobs, then came across back middle on a crossing route by Dontavian Wicks, who found the open zone behind the linebackers, wide open. Nice concept, nice connection there from Love to Wicks. Jordan Love also connected deep with McCole Hardman on a hole shot. The Packers were in a cover 2 disguise look, and Jordan Love found the exact hole shot spot to find McCole Hardman on a corner route behind Nate Hobbs, underneath Evan Williams. Just a really, really nice throw, and McCole Hardman continues to impress on the offense. And then also, we're going to utilize him as a punt returner, a kick returner, and I think he definitely makes this roster as of now as the 6th wide receiver. Then finally, I talked about a little bit earlier for Bo Melton, the Packers had a big gain from Matthew Golden. It was kind of a busted play a little bit where Jordan Love navigated the pocket well, great protection up front. Matthew Golden on a return route and then floated upfield, finding the open zone for his quarterback. You love to see the awareness by Matthew Golden to not just run flat into Isaiah McDuffie, rather get upfield, find that open zone, and it already looks like Jordan Love and Matthew Golden building a good chemistry here in training camp. So those are all the main takeaways I have from day 2 of Green Bay Packers training camp. Again, a kind of a light practice just like yesterday, really waiting for these pads to come on, really waiting for the 1v1s, very excited for that. Again, the Packers practice tomorrow, so be on the lookout for the highlight video and the takeaway video for tomorrow's practice. But again, really appreciate you guys coming by to the video. If you could leave a like down below, it supports the channel a ton. But I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Pack, go.